So let's talk a little bit about polynomials. Polynomials are a mixture of numbers and variables to different degrees. And when you put that polynomial in order, the highest power is called the degree of the polynomial. The the numbers and the variables that go with the highest power is called the leading term, and then the number in front is called the leading coefficient. So your book says how to find the degree and the leading coefficient, and their first step is to find the highest power of x to determine the degree. I disagree with that. I believe that you should write everything in order first and then determine. So this first example here, my highest power is last, so I would write that as minus 4x cubed plus 2x squared. There's no x terms, so plus 3. So now it's 3, 2, there's no 1, and then none. So now that it's in order, I can see that the highest power is 3, so the degree is 3. The leading term is minus 4x cubed, and the leading coefficient is negative 4. Alright, so this one is also out of order. So I'm going to put the t cubed plus 5t to the 5th plus 7t. Oh, no, I was wrong. It's not out of order. I thought that was a squared. Shame on me. So it goes 5, there's no 4, 3, there's no 2, and there's a 1. So now it's in order. I can see that the degree is 5. The leading term is 5t to the 5th. And the leading coefficient is positive 5. Alright, so now this one is not in order, and I'm sure about that. So I rewrite it as minus p3 plus 6p minus 2. And now I can see that the highest power is degree 3. My term is minus p cubed, and then the coefficient is negative 1. So we add and subtract polynomials. So we're just going to collect like terms, and then we will simplify and write in standard form. So write it in the powers in order. Okay, so I have a 4x cubed here. And then I have a 12 and an 8. X squared, so that would be 20 x squared. I have a 9x and a minus 5x, so that would be a plus 4x. And then I have a minus 21 and a plus 20, so that would be minus 1. And then 3, 2, 1, none, so it's in order, so it's in standard form. So we don't even really need, if it's an addition, if you find the sum, you don't even really need these parentheses, but if you're subtracting, you absolutely do. So let's see, let's find the highest power, this guy right here. There's no other cubes. I have a square here and a square here. So 5 and 2 is 7, x squared. I have a minus x and a minus 3x, which is minus 4x, and then I have a 1 and a minus 4, so that gives me minus 3. So my answer is 2x cubed plus 7x minus 4x minus 3. Alright, so now we're going to find the difference. And this is important because this minus sign, or negative sign, is belongs to everything in those parentheses. So it has to be distributed to every term before you can do anything else. So let's rewrite this: 7x to the fourth minus x squared plus 6x plus 1 minus 5x cubed. A negative and negative makes a positive. So that's a positive 2x squared. That's a negative 3x. And that is a negative 2. And now that I've distributed that negative, I'm going to collect like terms. So I only have 7x to the fourth. And let's look for x squared. So I have this one and this one. So that's a plus x squared. I have a 6 and a minus 3, so that's a positive 3x. And then I have a 1 and a minus 2, gives me minus 1. Okay, so same thing with this. This negative belongs to everything in the parentheses to the right, so it has to touch each term. So it's going to go here, 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 and here. So I have 7x cubed minus 7x squared plus 6x minus 2 minus 4x cubed plus 6x squared plus x minus 7. Now I collect like terms. There's no fourths, but there are 2 cubes, so 7. So minus 11 x cubed. I have 2x squareds, so minus 7 plus 6 is a minus x squared. 2 x's, so I have 6 and a 1, so that gives me 7x. And then I have a negative 2 and a negative 7, which gives me minus 9. So just like when we were taking this negative to everything next to it, we would say that we were distributing that negative. So when we multiply a polynomial times a polynomial, we have to make sure that this 2x touches everything to the right of it, and this 1 touches everything to the right of it. So we're going to distribute each term. So I'm going to take 2x times 3x gives me, or 2x times 3x squared gives me 6x cubed. 2x times this gives me negative 2x squared, and then 2x times this gives me plus 8x. And then 1 times 3x squared gives me 3x squared. 1 times negative x is negative x. And 1 times 4 is a positive 4. Now I collect my like terms. I don't have any x cubed, so I have 6x cubed. I have an x squared and x squared, so it gives me minus 2, and a plus 3 gives me positive 1. I have 8x and a minus x, which gives me 7x, and then plus 4. So we're going to do that again with this product. And I don't know if you care or not, but this polynomial has 2 terms, so it's a binomial, and this has 3 terms, so we call it a trinomial. So we're going to make sure this 3x goes to everyone here. So this gives me 3x to the fourth minus 12x cubed plus 21x. And then we're going to take this 2 to everything. So that gives me plus 2x cubed minus 8x squared plus 14. And so I only have 1/4 term. So I have a minus 12 and a plus 2, so that's minus 10x cubed I only have one squared term, only one x, and then plus 14. So when we have a binomial times a binomial, so 2 terms times 2 terms, we have a special way that we multiply it, and we call it the FOIL method. And this works. Later on I'm going to show you some shortcuts, but the FOIL method always works. And the FOIL stands for multiply the first 2 terms, the outer 2 terms, the inner, and then the last. So first, outer, inner, last. That's what FOIL stands for. And the FOIL method actually comes from the distributive property, but it's a way to remember. So you're going to multiply the first terms, outer terms, inner terms, the last terms, and then you're going to add like terms and simplify. So the first 2 would be 2x and 3x, so this gives me 6x squared. So the first outer 2x and 3 gives me a positive 6x. The inner 2 is negative 18 times 3, and I can't do that in my head. I probably could, but let's do it. Let's 18 times 3, 54. So that gives me minus 54x, and then 18 times 3, is also 54. So minus 54. And I'm going to combine like terms, so that's 6x squared. That gives me minus 48x minus 54. Alright, so let's work on this one. So the first 2 gives me 3x squared. The outermost minus 5x. The innermost plus 21x. And the last is minus 35. Combine my like terms, so I have 3x squared plus 16x minus 35. So this is a trick. You can always just use the FOIL method. But if you recognize x plus a squared becomes x squared plus 2ax plus a squared. So it's a shortcut. And I like to write it this way because you can have a number in front of x. So ax plus b squared is this term squared plus 2ax times b plus b squared. So if you're going to use the perfect square trinomial, which you don't have to, you can still write that out to it. I mean, you can write this as 3 minus 8 times 3x minus 8 and do the FOIL method, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're going to use the formula, you would use, this would be 3x squared plus 2 times 3x times minus 8 plus minus 8 squared. And then that gives me 9x squared minus 48x plus 64. So this I would write as 4x squared plus 2. So 2 times a, which is 4x, times b, which is minus 1, plus b squared. And that gives me 16x squared minus 8x plus 1. Now here's the one that's going to be most useful for you, and it's most convenient. So if you have the same letters but different signs, when you do the O and the I part, they fall out. So you can still FOIL it, and they'll cancel each other out. or if you recognize that this is what's called a difference of squares, then you can tell that this is 9x quantity squared minus 4 squared, which gives me 81x squared minus 16. And then my last one, this is a difference of squares, so I can write this as 2x quantity squared minus 7 squared, and this gives me 4x squared minus 49. And that's it for this section.